Hi, everyone. Welcome to this month's Cozy Mystery Author Interview. I'm your host, Alan Troy, and today I'm joined by Ann Artan. Ann is a USA Today best-selling author of humorous cozy mysteries, including the Raina Sun, Lucy Fong, and Cedar Woods series. Her stories featured Chinese American sleuths juggling love, family, and murder because everyone deserves to be an armchair detective. Hi, Anne. Welcome.
Hi, Troy.
This month, the Cozy Mystery Book Club is featuring the first book in your Cedar Woods mystery series, Arrest the Alibi. What inspired you to write the book?
Um, so I got the idea for the book after the pandemic. I mean, it was after 2020 and also after I had breast cancer. So I just needed something different. I couldn't write about Raina's son or Lucy Fong because they're both in their 20s and their 30s and they're just kind of like just starting out in life, trying stumbling their way through, the different life stages. So I needed somebody that was a little older, um, preferably middle age like myself. And so that's why I was like, okay, new series. And that's when I decided to write about Cedar Woods. Cedar Woods, but of course, at that time, I still wasn't ready to write about, being a cancer survivor, but I needed something about starting over in life. And so I was like, okay, let's have her be a divorcee, and she's starting over with nothing other than her 15-year-old pickup truck. And that's what I have. So Cedar Woods, she's a Chinese orphan from actually a Chinese orphanage adopted into American family. And so for her, her entire life, it's about trying to fit into her American family and and of course, she's the only girl. So there's her three cousins are boys and her brother that's the other boy. So there's four boys and just her. And she's the youngest. And her entire life is just about being the good kid because, you have the four boys doing the boy stuff. And and then she's also slightly overweight. So her entire life, she was always the overweight best friend. And so when I put the character together, I was like, if we're gonna start over, let's start her over as being finally being thin for the first time. So she lost all the weight in her divorce from the stress of the divorce, and but she was barely making it in San Jose. She was living on top of a pho restaurant. So every night she smells that beef noodle soup and hear that family that's working together, downstairs. Whereas she's living off of selling her designer handbags and her designer shoes and cleaning her former friend's mansion because she was married to a tech tycoon in San Jose. But somehow she signed a prenup and when during the divorce, she got nothing. She just got her old truck.
Hmm. So, you were giving us a little of Cedar's background and personality there. Is there anything that's really driving her beyond just the starting over?
It's starting over and just because she has this second chance in life, she's going to do things a little differently. And one of them is she's not going to be so good anymore.
Hmm.
And so throughout the book or the series, we will see her just be a little different,
Hmm.
be less good. Maybe tell a few white lies while she's going about her investigations. Um, just a few things, and of course, her aunt Coco is the aunt that raised her, because her adopted mother died when she was 10. So her aunt Coco is the Chinese link in the series, and she's larger than life. She has a lot of Chinese beliefs, One of them being that her husband, who was a four-star general, died and was reincarnated back into her corgi. Her new corgi is her husband.
I was going to ask about the name of the corgi. So it's just General, not any other
Yeah,
name on him.
yeah, just general, because that's how she used to refer to her husband.
Okay.
Um, so general, throughout the series, we will not know if he really is the reincarnated spirit of her uncle, but there's been moments in the books where Cedar and Aunt Coco would ask the dog questions and he would answer correctly. Whereas anybody else that asks, they just get a dumb dog.
Ah, so he's doing like the nod of a head or something to
Yeah,
indicate yes or no.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'm a little sideline question here. Since we're kind of talking about the Scooby Gang,
Hmm.
the excess or extras that help the main sleuth find out, other than General and Aunt Coco, who else is in the Scooby Gang?
Oh yeah, I love the Scooby Gang. That's my favorite part about writing cozy mystery because there's always a Scooby Gang that kind of just rotate in and out. There's also Babsha. So that's I hope I'm pronouncing it right. It's Polish for grandmother. So that's Aunt Coco's next door neighbor who has hearing loss. So so she just fills things in.
Hmm.
And so when she saw Aunt Coco on the floor, on the sidewalk, she just assumed that Aunt Coco broke her hip. And so after she called 911, she called all of Aunt Coco's kids, letting them know she broke her hip. And that's how Cedar got conned to come back from San Jose to back to Mirror Falls to basically take care of her aunt with this broken hip. And then when she showed up, after she packed up everything and she drove all the way back there and she showed up, her aunt was like, "Hey, good to see you. Let's have tea." And she's like, "I thought you got a broken hip."
So we've got fun neighbors, and
Mhm.
as someone with hearing loss, I totally get the filling in parts, especially when you've got to have that context to understand why somebody did what they did or said something.
Mhm.
So, any other fun characters that you can fill in the blanks on?
Yes, yes. The police chief in town used to be the bully, the school bully that
Mm,
went to school with Cedar. And they have this kind of arch nemesis relationship. So she's not the helpful cop that we always get in cozy mystery.
mm,
So there's that. It's kind of fun because Cedar gets a little nervous every time Chief Blunt gets involved because she, in her head, she still sees this bully. And so she doesn't see this women that probably already have a 25-year career in law enforcement. And so it's kind of coming to terms with what she remembers from her childhood and who the person really is now. And then we have a love interest, Luke Skywalker. No, not really Luke Skywalker, but Aunt Coco calls him Luke Skywalker. He's actually Sora Luke Kai. So he's Japanese. We call him,
mhm,
so he goes by Luke. And that brings in some of the Japanese element into the story. I'm not quite sure where that's going yet, but and then of course we have in the second book we introduce a half Korean niece.
mm,
It's definitely a mixing pot in this series.
mhm. Yeah, the joy of being out in California myself for 4 years, the Asian community out there is widespread, and it's difficult to track ancestry and ethnic groups because
Hmm.
there's so much intermixing of backgrounds as couples get together, break up, get together, etc. So it's interesting for me as somebody outside of that world to read about that world. Are you finding a lot of your readers are coming in from outside of the Asian ethnic groups and really enjoying the ethnic aspects of Asian culture that they might not be aware of?
Um, just from the emails and stuff I've gotten, yes, a lot of them have at one point or another actually like live in San Francisco, and they always talk about Reina's extended family who actually lives in San Francisco and how familiar it sounds when I talk about the streets that they go through or the family dynamics, and I'm just like, as a writer, for me, you should know we're just putting words on the screen, right? But to
Mhm.
have readers um, envision it and actually feel that, it's just amazing to me. Even now, all these years later, to have readers that actually can go inside your book world. I don't know if
Mhm.
it makes any sense.
It does. I've got some of my own readers have written to me from other areas that I've written about, like whether it's the UK or Canada, and they've shared their own experiences in towns right down the road from the little mythical ones we make up. So it's always fun to hear from readers, and it sounds like you've got a good, loyal fan base as well that are tuning into the mysteries. So, what was the biggest challenge for you in creating this new cozy mystery world when you've already got others made up?
Yeah, for me, every single time I create a new series, my biggest fear is all the characters sound the same. As kind of like I didn't like the main characters, they're all aspects of me. So in my head, of course, they sound the same, right?
Hmm.
But then the readers do not think they do. So obviously, I'm doing a decent job with that. But that's my biggest fear is characters that sound the same, themes that sound the same, and it's trying to keep it fresh for the readers. Luckily, I haven't had any complaints yet, so that's a good thing. So I guess I'll just keep going on that.
Well, when we look at the basic story structure and types of characters, there's character archetypes, and there's
Hmm.
basically the hero's journey that gets applied in so many different ways. We're not reinventing the wheel when
Hmm.
we're writing these stories, but we're writing to a familiar pattern with different ideas that our characters are bringing into the mysteries. So it sounds like you're giving the readers what they want in each of your stories. There's a little bit of we're going to follow this pattern of it's a murder mystery. So you've got to find a body. You've got to have suspects. Oh, this person's innocent and I'm going to prove it. And then it's always the person you least expect. Or wait a minute, did they? So how are you building the mystery? Are you going at it with, I know who did it, or you're not sure until you get to the end?
I when I first started writing, I plot out my books, so I actually know who did what, and what they were doing, who has the clues, things of that nature. Um, you know, decade later now, I just wing it, and that's why uh this last book that I'm currently working on, Bag the Body, is taking 2 years to write because I'm winging it as I
Oh, your audio just cut out.
sorry. So that's when I decided I'm never doing this again. Like it took too long for this last book to come out, and it's because, like I said, I'm winging it, every aspect of it. Whereas even previous book, even if I was winging it, I at least had a few ideas on where I was going. This one is like completely blank page, thinking as I'm writing, and as all writers know, when you're thinking while you're writing, that's the biggest time waster.
Hmm. I tend to do that too, but then it's I try to at least get my characters out on paper, computer paper, but I've got a list of characters and what motivates them. But, you know, how much of that are you doing in advance on, did you say bag the body?
I didn't do any of it. It
No.
literally was just a blank page. Um, I have a opening scene which was Cedar at the hotel meeting her long lost niece, that half Korean girl, for the first time. And she got to tell this girl why her dad can't meet her. Her dad, Cedar's brother Josh, decided because he's a coroner, a dead body was more important than his long
No.
lost daughter, this daughter that he never met before.
Hmm.
And so, but it was mostly because he was a chicken and he didn't really want to do it. So he's like, you go kind of like get her into the family, love us a little bit, and I'll meet her kind of scenario.
Hmm. So he's delaying the inevitable.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So you're working on a book that starts with B after a book that starts with A. Do you write
Hmm.
alphabetical titles?
I never did. But my one of my writing friends, she does that. And then I decided, I think I'll try that this time. And so that's what I'm doing.
Have you already got your the next four or five titles picked out or
Yeah.
okay. That's I know who you're talking about and she's a fun author, but every now and then she's like, "Oh wait, what starts with this letter that I can work into a murder theme?" So good luck trying to plot those out. I've gone to I'm just doing alliteration, the case of the cursed cruise, stuff like that. And I know I'm going to end up repeating letters. So, um, what kind of mystery do you like best when it comes to writing your mysteries? I know we're talking murders, but is it somebody that is found body? Is it more of a we're gonna take out the town bully, which in this case would be the police chief, but where you've always got that despicable character that everybody in town doesn't like, oh darn, they're dead. I, how do you figure that out and where do you like to go with your mysteries?
I actually written the good guy that's passed away, the bad guy that's passed away, everything in between, just to keep it fresh so that the readers don't know what to expect. And as for you were talking about the town nuisance, the person that nobody likes. Those are actually my favorite characters to keep bringing back, and then revealing like layers of their personalities, so that eventually we kind of come to understand why they are who they are.
Hmm.
And I think actually those are actually kind of fun to write.
And once you get invested in a character like that, that's got that nice long growth, and you start to understand them, you don't want to kill them off.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
what other types of things, as people look at your book, I'm about to say next month, but by the time readers see this, your book will already be out in the book club, Rest the Alibi. What is it in there that you had the most fun writing? Was it a character? Was it a scene?
Yes, there's this really fun scene. So Chief Blunt
Hmm.
is walking up the walkway. What was it? Let me rephrase it. Oh, I forgot. It was either the police. Yeah, it was the police. They were trying to evade the police. So it's the officers they were trying to evade, and they were in Babsha's car. So she's kind of half blind too. So not only does she have hearing loss, she can't really see. So she's driving and Cedar and Aunt Coco was in the back seat, like crouched down with this dirty blanket thrown over them. It smells like a dead skunk. And they're driving down the street trying to get into Babsha's house, her garage. And Um, they got there, and as soon as they got there, Chief Blunt shows up, and she started talking to Basha with the two ladies still in the back seat, and I think somebody sneezed or something. I'm sorry, it's been a while since I wrote that scene. I remember it being really funny when I wrote it, just because of the that skunk
Mhm.
thing, and then it turns out it was a dead animal that she took to a shop, to get it stuffed.
So good. The readers have something to look forward to. And I know that notice that we're closing in on our time limit here. So why don't you tell us where readers can find you and your work?
So the best place to look for me is on my website, nr10.com, and to sign up for my newsletter. I actually don't spend much time on social media, so you'll get the best of me from my newsletter.
Okay. And it's Anne, Anne.
Mhm.
I always spell it the other way, so thought I'd throw that in. And thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate talking to you, and I hope our readers enjoy the interview as well.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye.